Hello and welcome to UWS News. I'm Kyle Murphy and here are your sports headlines. It was a historic night for Celtic women as they became the first Scottish club to qualify for the UEFA Women's Champions League. The Hoops defeated Ukrainian side Wisła Poltava 2-0 at the Albert Bartlett Stadium after they took a 1-0 lead in the first leg. Goals from Emma Lawton and Shannon McGregor helped Celtic establish a huge day for the club. Celtic will discover their opponents in today's group stage draw. Elsewhere in Europe, and it was a great night for Rangers in Sweden as they defeated Malmo in their opening Europa League match. Goals from Nadim Bajrami and Ross McCausland helped the Gels earn their first 3 points of the new campaign. Manager Philippe Clement was happy with his side, calling it a very mature team performance. In their next match, Rangers will host Hibs in their first league fixture at Ibrox this Sunday. On to Premiership action, where Celtic and Aberdeen will be looking to extend their unbeaten run in the league this weekend, as they both travel away to face St Johnstone and Dundee respectively. Both clubs have been in impressive form as they sit on 15 points from their opening 5 games, with Celtic only leading by goal difference. Moving to the capital, and Hearts interim manager Liam Fox will be hoping his side can earn their first league win of the season when they face Ross County on Saturday. Fox took over the helms at Tynecastle after he replaced the recently sacked Stephen Naismith, who had lost his last 8 games as manager. Other fixtures in the Scottish Premiership this weekend include St Mirren travelling to Firth Park to face Motherwell and Kilmarnock hosting Dundee United. On to rugby, and it's good news for Glasgow Warriors as Adam Hastings is set to make his first start this weekend since he returned to Glasgow. Hastings will be handed the number 10 jersey when the Warriors face Benetton tonight at Scotstoun Stadium. The Warriors faced a narrow defeat to Ulster in their opening URC match last week, and we were looking to get back to winning ways. Basketball is a sport in Scotland that faces many challenges, especially for women. With problems in the amount of engagement and investment in the sport, our reporter Johnny Moore has more.
Women's basketball is a fast-growing sport in Scotland, but it still faces challenges. I spoke to those involved at amateur level and at Basketball Scotland to see how they think the game can grow.
Amy Kirkhouse is the Social Impact Lead for Basketball Scotland. She's the lead on women's and girls' development, equality, diversity and inclusion. She talks about the struggles about getting women involved in basketball.
I think there's just generally a big drop-off. This is across all sports. There's a big drop-off around like early to mid-teens for girls dropping out of sports due to external factors.
Players and coaches also feel that there's a big issue with keeping young girls involved in the sport.
For me, probably the biggest challenge is just numbers, and keeping numbers once we get them.
From the age of 15 up to 18 is like an awkward period, over puberty and all that, so numbers obviously dwindle across all sports.
And now we are joined by Johnny. Johnny, thanks for joining me. So, what would you say are the biggest limitations of this sport?
I think it just all starts for girls in schools and grassroots and getting them involved. I think with lots of women's sports in particular, there's a drop-off age around 16 when they get into later stages of schools, and lots of people try to focus on that. But also with basketball in particular, the coverage, media coverage, there's not much at all, even for the men's sport, but the women's sport particularly, although the Caledonia Gladiators are trying their best to change that.
And you're speaking about young girls' participation in this sport. What more can be done to get them involved?
I think it just kind of goes hand in hand with media coverage. I think if young girls can see lots of basketball games and maybe have some idols, that sort of thing, they could aspire and be inspired to take part. And also I think if there's more female coaches, the girls would feel more comfortable and that sort of thing as well, and there's not many female coaches at all in Scotland.
And what has happened in recent years for this to make the sport grow?
Yeah, so a good thing of course is the Caledonia Gladiators becoming professional and doing a lot and getting their new stadium up and running in East Kilbride. So they've got lots of programmes for that sort of thing in youth teams, but also the BBC had last season had a deal with the Gladiators and they broadcast 3 matches live, and that was the women's matches as well, so that was good, and hopefully we can see more like that this season.
Okay Johnny, thanks for joining me. And now finally all eyes will be set on Chris Duncan, who's preparing for his first UFC bout against Balaji Oka, who's currently on a 9-fight winning streak. Duncan, who has 11 wins from 13 MMA fights, described tomorrow's night fight in Paris as the biggest of his life, and we're hoping to fly the country flag with pride. And that's all for UWS News. For your latest sports headlines, keep up to date with the latest news by checking out the UWS Newsroom website and social media platforms. I've been Kyle Murphy, have a great day.